what it do?
Recording in progress.
It do, what it do, what it do. Hold up.
In the theme song, bumping, bumping, bumping. Where's he at? Let's see. This is amazing. Now there's nothing.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes, and who am I with as always? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 151. Porch Pooper 2K24, motherfucker.
What's up, man? I'm low-key obsessed with like this porch pooper thing. That's wild.
I didn't even know about it.
Bandit on the loose. We'll get into it. But how are you, sir?
I'm good.
You getting attacked by a dog? Oh.
The two dogs are fighting each other, so I had to push the button. All right. So, how are you?
Oh, your mic's all scratchy now.
What a shit show.
Oh, okay. There we go. Well, it's great. Every time you did that, I was on the stream. I'm doing a round of applause. So while you're fixing stuff, it's like, woo, like people clapping. It's great.
Jesus Christ. Well, what's going on in your world, bro?
Nothing, man. Just been tired of shit, stressed, working too much, stressing. You know, the huge. It's always a fun time. And it's Texas, so it's just like shitty. It's starting to cool down. Everyone's like, oh, you know, it's going to be 91 tomorrow. And we're like, oh. And that's whenever, you know, you live in hell whenever you're excited. When you're excited when it's like 91 degrees. But that, I mean, you know, honestly, I'm kind of excited. Football season starts. And I mean, all this election shit and just Kamala Harris and Trump. I feel like Trump's spiraling. Rudy Giuliani and all these cases he's got going on, which are super weird. Rudy Giuliani's got a lot of wild shit going on, being sued by one of his former employees, so that's pretty nuts too.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Because he's like just disgusting. He's like Count Dracula, which makes you look back if you saw the new, like the second movie that Sacha Baron Cohen did, where he got Rudy Giuliani in that hotel room and it was all super weird.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff, allegations that are revolve around this shit with a former employee and Rudy Giuliani, you know, it makes it even less funny, if that makes sense.
He's a funny guy though. I don't know.
No, like what he's accused of doing is like super gross.
Oh, I know.
Like super gross. And it's like he's like, leaking fucking hair dye, just
Yeah, dude. The wheels came off there. That's like just alcoholism.
to be the mayor,
max.
to be the mayor from 9/11 and to fall so
Hey,
far.
I've told you. I've said this 1,000 times throughout my life. I like mayors that don't let 9/11 happen. Like,
Well, I
why
don't
is
think
he celebrated? You didn't keep the city safe, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he could really do anything about it directly,
Mm.
but I mean,
Happened on his watch, bro.
not to say it that way, but to kind of, I mean, that's like what he's known for. That's what he ran for president on. Like, it felt like a bajillion times was the whole thing that he was just like there and in charge of the city.
He was literally the front runner for like the favorite to win the presidency in 2004, like in the polls.
Yeah.
And then I forget what happened, but
he showed up and talked, and everyone was like,
his
"This
whole
guy's a
campaign just
fucking ass."
collapsed.
But what's really weird too is there's an old documentary. There's a documentary about them going up against. Are they going at it back there? I don't know what that was. But or it's when he was a prosecutor and went up against like organized crime and like the mob and like was shutting shit down. You gotta close your door, man.
Well, this is a shit show.
All right, this is crazy. It's awesome to watch, actually. It's quite entertaining. But he was a prosecutor who helped take down a lot of organized crime in New York. As a prosecutor, tried a lot of cases. That's what got him his claim to fame to where he even became mayor in the fucking first place. So, just interesting to see him go from like a young up and coming prosecutor who's like trying cases people are afraid to try, and like actually kind of a ballsy fucking dude. Like when you watch that documentary, even just see old interviews of him, you're like, oh, this guy's like, for what he's trying to accomplish, this dude's got some fucking balls. And then he just, became a creepy old man.
Yeah, just corrupted as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's inevitable. That's a, complaint you can have about career politicians in general, is just at some point, whatever side of the aisle you're on, there's going to be some sort of like overt corruption just from being in politics that long.
No, dude, he signed up with Trump. That's how you get.
I'm
that's
not
how you get corrupted.
saying I'm saying some people would make that case that they could say it. Some people have an issue with politics. They're like, oh, well, I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. She's been in politics for 45 years, and statistically, if you've been in politics for like 45 years, the chances of you doing some weird shit are pretty high. If you're like,
I disagree.
Unless you're like Mike Pence.
You're in the public eye. Like it's harder to get away with shit if you're like a known figure.
It's like, I'm saying like I could see Mike Pence not doing anything like creepy Rudy Giuliani creepy. He does creepy shit.
What are you even talking about? He like funded like gay conversion therapy.
True,
like,
creepy in a different way. I'm saying not Giuliani creepy. Giuliani creepy, that's a different category.
Dude, Mike Pence, I feel like, is the creepiest.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying, dude? Like,
well, not openly
the pent up
creepy.
sexual tension that he has, like for like a dick in his mouth. Like, come on.
Well, I'm saying he's in politics and he just shows up. I think they told him like you're gonna be vice president, and he's just like, okay. He's like, baby, is that like, honey, mother, is that okay? And she said yes, and then he was like, okay. So I think he was just along for that because they tried to kill that motherfucker. They tried to. They were like, we want to kill him too. So I mean, he's like just drinking Trump, drinking warm milk in the closet, like hiding.
I just heard Trump in an interview talking about how nasty and mean Kamala was to Mike Pence when they were in the debate for when they were VPs.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Well, she didn't like try to hang him like you did, bro.
Yeah, that dude's spiraling. You sent me that of showing where Trump's stock's at.
Oh yeah.
DJT.
I threw that in the articles just to talk about it, but
yeah.
just because like we brought it up in the past.
Yeah, I mean
we got to keep an eye on. We got to keep an eye on this stock.
pulse check. So like, hey, is it still breathing? All right, a little bit. All right, it's faint. It's really faint. You got to really listen for it. But there's something there. No,
because he's like able to sell the shares here in like I think like in a week and a half.
Yeah, he's not gonna get nearly as much for him as he would.
I mean, the market cap is still $2 billion. But yeah, no, not even close to like.
Yeah, like that's not like what it's
like a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, how much?
Like,
how much
ever
is the
since
stock
Kamala came in the race, it's just plummeted. Also, coincided with that, he posted on Twitter, but like he doesn't write actually. He doesn't post anything on Twitter like himself. It's like his campaign. It's
yeah,
like
but
he's still going off on Truth Social.
They're using his account though, which is pretty wild.
Right.
Using his account.
So when that happened, it took a huge hit, but I think it's just basically, I mean, all it is a barometer of like where people think his chances are to become president.
Yeah, he said he's not doing any more campaigning or just kind of giving up on New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, it's only 4 electoral votes, but he was like, because they're like,
was he ever gonna win it?
No, but normally it's like a fairly.
Nikki Haley almost beat him in New Hampshire.
Well, he's down like 5-6%, which is like huge because it's normally
At
like
least.
yeah, no, like as of right now, they're just like, all right, never mind, fuck that, next.
Yeah, they're spending. I mean, we're making them spend a shit ton of money in Georgia because that's back in play. And what was the other state? I don't know. Florida might be in play, dude.
Dude, Ronnie D. Dude, we'll see if Meatball Ron is running for re-election.
Well, but you have the abortion referendum, to.
Oh yeah, there's a couple states.
In Florida, so that's going to be helpful to the Democrats just by itself. But since Kamala got on there, it's become a 5-point race, and like usually the margin of error on these fuckers is 3 to 4, so that could be a 1-point race. And if we get Florida, night, keep your butthole tight.
True. That's also just good advice in general. But let's get into therapy questions. Actually, did you want to talk about this tournament?
Oh yeah. So y'all, the players, my home poker room, out of nowhere just announced that they're gonna start having tournaments like every day almost. It's like 4 times a week, but every week. They didn't announce it at all until it was like already set up, and I like asked like Brian the deal. He's like, yeah, we weren't allowed to say anything. I was like, oh, that's weird. So anyways, first day of the tournament start was on, was it Monday? No, Sunday.
Yeah, I think it was
Sunday. It was the first. And my buddy Steve has been like trying to bankroll me to get into like higher stakes games, and I'm like, and then I'm like, hey, the tournament started. If you want to bankroll me in the tournament, it was 180. And he was like, okay. So I entered that tournament, which was in the started at noon, and I did okay. But this I had 2 pair, and I bet big, and one of the dealers who's like younger was at my table playing, and he caught a straight like on the river, and it kind of decimated my stack, and then. And I was like kind of trying to figure shit out, like with the tournament, it was new. Everybody was trying to figure shit out. Like one dude, like, cause you can get an add-on for an extra $50. That I already did that with the 180. That was included. But this guy like busted out like all of his chips and then paid $50 for an add-on, which was like the same amount of chips that you buy in for. And I was like, dude, that's not what it is. Like, you have to have a chip in order to add on. You're not adding on when you're busted out of the tournament. But they like let that happen. So it was like, I don't know, it's like weird. Anyways, so I go out, like, I played for 2 hours, but I get busted out. Smash cut to, there's another tournament. It's a $60 buy-in. It's at, what was it at? 6 o'clock it starts.
Yeah, I think so.
I hit up Joseph. I pitch him on bankrolling me for this tournament. He obliges. So it's $60 plus you can pay an extra 10 and get two. Is my mic okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So you start with 7,000 chips in this tournament for the $60. 45 of it goes into the prize pool. 15 is for like the house, like fees and shit. But then you can pay an extra $10. Doesn't go into the prize pool, but you get 2,000 chips. So that's like, to me, it's a no-brainer. You're getting like 20% more chips, like to start off with. You just have to do it for $10. So we're in for 70. The shit pops off. I have 7,000 chips. 5 minutes into it, I get pocket aces. One guy goes all in. I go all in. Another guy goes all in. Boom, boom, boom. They're both out of the fucking tournament. I just tripled up. I now have 20,000 chips or close to. Next hand, pocket kings. Guy bets big. I go all in. He goes all in. Another guy goes all in. Boom, boom. They're out of the tournament. I've got 33,000 chips. It's 15 minutes into the fucking tournament. And I've got like 5 or 6 times as much as the starting chips. Wild. I didn't even know what to do at this point. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like trying to figure out and so I take a picture of it, and I was talking so much shit to Brian, the dealer, who's like my homie, about tournaments, because like I always like tell him how I'm doing the online tournaments. And so I'm like, dude, I was like, do you guys put my name on the trophy already, or are you gonna like wait to do that? You know, I'm going to win like one of this tournament. And then so it's like
You gotta be more humble. You're crazy.
I'm just talking hellish shit before like days before the tournament.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, way before. And then so we're like 15-20 minutes in. I take a picture of my stack and I go, hey dude, I started the tournament at 6 with 7,000 chips. Now I have 33,000. And then like 3 minutes later, I see him. He's in a suit. He's like working the floor that day, and he's just standing next to my table, and he's like got like he's just like what the fuck look on his face, because it's like, I called my shot, dude. I told you. And and I see him, and I was like, dude. And he's like, I had to come over here and see if that was actually real time. And I was like, yeah, it's real. And so there's 57 people who entered the tournament. I'm playing like really well. I'm maintaining the 33,000 for an hour and a half, like through a break. And then I knock somebody else out. I go up to 44,000. It's like, okay, from 33 to 44, whatever. Nah, dude, that's 2 other people's like full buy-ins, like that I just like increased on there. So I'm at 44. I'm in, and then I get into a hand with this guy that I play golf with. He's friends with the Tiger, friend of the pod. He's at my table. So I have Jack 10 diamonds, and blinds are 500. I raise it to 1,500 pre-flop. He's the only one who calls. On the flop comes ace, queen, 6, 2 diamonds. So now I've got a flush draw and a straight draw. I have 13 outs. So I have a 52% chance of hitting one of them, either my straight or my flush. He just like snap all in when the flop comes out. 9,000 chips. And I'm like, I was like, I can afford it, and if I hit this, like, it's gonna put me in another stratosphere. Plus, I'm more likely to hit it than I'm not. I call, don't hit it. Now I'm like down to like 27,000, but then I work my way back up. I get moved tables because they're trying to keep the tables even, and then all of a sudden it's down to the last 2 tables, so 18 people left. Then it's 14, 13. And then now it's down to the last 10. So 5 at each table. And I've been playing pretty well. I'm in the big blind. The small blind limps in. I go all in, pocket 8s. 27,000 on top, and he calls with ace 9 offsuit and catches a fucking 9, and that's how I get busted out of the tournament. However, somebody got busted out right before me at the other table, so I actually got 9th. So technically I made the final table, but only the top 6 people got paid because it was 10% of the people got paid, and there was 57 people, so 6 people got paid. So even though I made the final table, we didn't make any money.
That's so good though.
I know. Like it took me until the next day to realize like I shouldn't be upset at all.
It should
like,
be motivating for you to want to do it more.
Like I just played really fucking well in the first tournament. Like first day of tournaments. Like I thought I could. And these are and what's awesome about this is like I'm playing against the guys who are playing high stakes and shit too.
Yeah.
So I finally get to like play against them, and yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, obviously it helps when you get pocket aces, pocket kings, and take 4 people out. I mean, obviously, but but whatever. Like I was still able to maintain. I mean, and we played for like 4 hours.
Well, it's like whenever you're playing online or whatever you were saying. It's like the amount of hands that you're seeing. So now you're getting to see it's the amount of different types of players you're getting to see.
But also the way the tournament is. So there was people at the final table who had less than 44,000. So like I had no like frame of reference of like how much is this? Like I could have literally just walked away for like an hour and a half, and maybe should have. And because the blinds were so small, like they weren't going to eat up anything like of my stack, and there was no need for me to like get any more chips to get to the final table. Like I didn't know that at the time. But so it was just I got perspective now. Now it's on. Like I know, like now I get like how like where the blinds are going, how fast they're gonna go up, where I need to be, like each way, how fast I or how like, because you got to keep your chips up since the blinds are going up, you have to manage your chip stack.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can manage my chip stack a lot better now going through the tournament and going as far as I did. So yeah, nothing. I'm just gonna start murdering these tournaments.
Okay. Well, hell yeah. Well, congrats, man.
I just played in a tournament today. It was only a $2 balance. 281 people knockout tournament. I knocked out 11 people, but I got 20th. I had my fantasy football draft and I got distracted and I made a bad call. So I got it 20th out of 281, but knocked out 11 people and made 5 times my money. I made like $10 out of the 2.
Damn. Well, all right. Therapy questions, but the first 2 were just kind of topics to discuss. This is the title of the episode. This to me is like the craziest shit that's going on. This has been going on for a while, supposedly. There's a shoeless slob. The title of the article is "Shoeless Slob Leaves Nasty Surprise on Porch as Cops Use Viral Video and Manhunt." Quote, "We're good neighbors." It's in Louisville, Kentucky. There is a so-called porch pooper who uses disgusting antics. He basically runs up on people's front doorbells, rings their doorbell, takes a fat shit on their doorstep, runs away. And they can't catch this guy. No mask, no nothing.
So he's ringing the doorbell.
Like this is
taking the shit?
Yeah, on some of them he's like right in front of the door. Press the doorbell, take a shit.
So he's not taking the shit until the heat is on with the doorbell.
Oh, sure. We'll hear what it is. Kentucky police are working to crack the case of a disturbing young man who left a surprise. Received multiple reports of a so-called porch pooper whose unlucky residence doorbell camera has circulated on social media. Tuesday morning, I went on my front porch and noticed what I thought was cat poop, said Jim. They used a pseudonym. They didn't want to use his real name. Jim cleaned up the mess, not thinking much of it, that is, until he checked his Nest doorbell camera. And much to his dismay, he saw the poopatrator wasn't a rude neighbor cat, but a man, for good measure, also peed on their welcome mat. So he walks up, takes a fat piss on their welcome mat, turns around. He's in like athletic shorts. He's barefoot. Almost like crackhead shit, maybe. But he doesn't look like a crackhead. He looked back at the footage. To his story, he thought the man had been at the house a night earlier.
Oh, he thought he was doing
he's
recon?
He's like hit multiple houses, peed.
But he's scoping them out ahead of time.
peeing through the front door. Like, I guess through their mail slot. This motherfucker was peeing in their house through the mail
Where
slot.
else is he supposed to pee?
That's wild. We're
Okay,
good
but you
neighbors.
have to answer the question. Is he ringing the doorbell before he poops? Or is he pooping and then ringing? Because to me, it makes a difference. If he's like putting the heat on him, to where I have to poop now that I rang
Well,
the doorbell,
the
that's
footage is
impressive.
on. The
That's
footage is
impressive.
online. I don't want to press the video. I don't want to be running no video of some grown man taking a poop. But I mean, apparently he's been
you're
back.
the one who put this in here.
I don't want to run the video. We can discuss it. But I mean, how do you? I'm shocked that they can't catch a man who's like obviously attacking. Like, does he live in the neighborhood? He's walking there barefoot. He's got to be close to hit the same house. You don't know this guy. I feel like if someone was taking a shit on your front doorstep every day, the chances of you knowing that person are pretty high.
Yeah, that's true. Like the first 48, like that's
Like come on,
like
man.
they're getting to that. They're like
That's like, do you know the person
95% chance that you know the person who's taking a shit on your porch twice.
Yeah, it's like, do I know the person who TP'd my house? Like, yeah, probably. You probably know that person. It's probably one of your friends. They're being dicks. Or someone that you got, like, active beef with. Not some random person who's just going to toilet paper your house.
Yeah, but maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time, if you were out...
Yeah, most of the time you're trying to hit, like,
I want to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to fuck with somebody. Try to holler, yo.
Right.
You saw what we did to your house, girl. That's how we roll.
Yeah, that's right.
Gang shit all day.
Gang. They're going to think we crazy for this one when they have a pandemic and run out of toilet paper.
What would you do if you caught somebody taking a shit on your front doorstep? Do you back up, retreat inside, close the door, or do you attack that person? They are in the middle of taking a shit.
No, I feel like that's licensed for murder, right? Like a free murder.
I mean, I wonder if they were taking a shit and then took a step forward. Yeah, like would the castle doctrine come into effect? Like
Step forward. I don't need that step forward. The defecation, the poop's coming forward out of their sphincter.
Stood my ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking a shit on my doorstep. Judge would be like, "All right, no problem. Yeah, free."
To me, it's like it has to be like that. It's like, okay, me and my brother only got into a fist fight one time, and then what happened was my brother spit in my beer, and I was like, okay, now I have to fight him. Like to me, it was just like once you spit in my beer, now I have to punch you. So then I threw the beer in his face and punched him. Same thing. Once you've decided that you're gonna shit on my porch, it's like I'm obligated to beat you up now.
Oh no, bro! He was in there not peeing. He was peeping through the front door, and then was slipping off into the darkness. And then he was peeping through the door, and was banging on the door, and then took off. So he's like, I hit this house multiple times. We're good neighbors. We keep to ourselves. We behave ourselves. I can't imagine anyone would want this kind of retribution. That's what the guy who lives there says. That's a guy that's going to shoot you when he catches you. He returned yet again on Thursday night.
Apparently not, dude. That guy's a soy boy. He picked up the poop and cleaned it. He thought it was cat poop, dude. He's a cat lady.
I'm relieved.
J.D. Vance is like rolling over in his grave right now.
I'm glad he's...
Or on his couch or whatever.
I'm glad he's not violent or he's not trying to force entry. He's just doing his deed, but it's very disconcerting and disturbing. Yeah, that's fucking wild. He's got the porch pooper of Louisville joins the ranks of illustrious freestyle feces depositors. Dude, this guy got wild with this article. In recent years, such as Colorado's Mad Pooper, parking lot pooper of Ashland, Massachusetts, and of course the pooperintendent of schools. He's from New Jersey. Psychologists offered an explanation about the odd phenomenon of serial poopers as people seeking a rush by pushing the envelope out of the edge of civil behavior.
Out of their edge of their assholes.
That's weird, man. Like, I don't know. If we found out somebody was a serial pooping on someone's front door, like, you can't be that guy's friend anymore.
But no, it's like when I think about Kentucky, like this is the type of shit I feel like it's going on in Kentucky. Like this checks out for me.
They're like pooping on doorsteps.
I would assume that was happening. Shoeless poopers.
Yeah. Peeping in windows. I'm just gonna go right here.
Yeah.
He called.
Like they don't have shoes in Kentucky.
He called the Humane Society on my ring back there. That was a track for the kids to ride their go-karts. I don't fight dogs back there. That's what I told them, but they came and took my pits. So I'm going to take a shit on his doorstep.
I went to the Six Flags in Louisville and thought I was gonna die, like on a roller coaster. It was like so janky.
Yeah. Roller coasters are spooky. Like, period. Now I watch.
Like this one was like.
Nah, bro. I watch loose. Yeah, but like nothing's more loose than the Rattler at Fiesta, Texas. Six Flags.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's pussy.
And then, dude, Texas Giant. Like somebody's.
Maybe she does Kegels. I don't know.
Somebody's old grandma got like thrown off the side of the Texas Giant at like on a Tuesday afternoon, while the rest of the family.
Survival of the fittest. Huh?
Well, no, man, that's like a wooden roller coaster.
Time to go.
Nah, bro.
You can't lean and rock.
You've ridden
the
that,
Texas
right?
Giant?
You've ridden
Of course I have.
Yeah, dude. You don't act like you ain't. Like I might die on this shit today. The way that shit sways because it's still all made of wood and it like wobbles.
Yeah, well, guess what?
And went into a turn and
I'm not gonna die, but a weaker person might.
Nah, bro. Those little push down bars don't do shit.
I don't know.
The mine train, the mini mine train. The mine train was more safe than that. The mine train is safe.
It's nothing like what's going down in Kentucky, dude.
I don't know, bro. I know, but I do. I mean, I don't know if I would ever want to get on one of those carnival rides to begin with anymore. They spook me the fuck out. I mean, it'd have to be someplace like Universal Studios. SeaWorld's gone all amusement park rides. They're trying to like veer away from fish. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, come on. Blackfish came out and everybody was just like, y'all are shit bags. You let some of those nice people in the tank who do the handstands got murdered by Tulicum, a massive orca. You guys are dicks. And they're like, oh, but what? We got a new roller coaster. Everyone's like, all right, that's cool. Check it out.
On pod.
Let's go. No, I heard something. It was from a song. It was on Garsh, like Goofy. On Garsh. Yuck. I was like, that's tight. I'm going to have to use that later. Dude. On Garsh. Let's go, dog. Yuck.
Just getting crazy with the cheese whiz, bro.
You tell me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see when they catch the serial pooper, who he is, the backstory. That's some wild shit. That is a wild risk to take if you get caught doing that. Friends, family, colleagues, people in your life forever. You'll be known as the dude that was like running around taking shits on people's doorsteps. That is not the type of stigma you want following.
Just out here just leaving people poop-plexed.
Yeah, dude. Like, whoa, dude. What is this poop nigma? I can't figure it out. This dookie. It's wild, dude. Ancient astronaut theorists can't figure that shit out, bro.
No.
Like, that is crazy. They're writing about you taking a shit on someone's doorstep in the New York Post.
Just dropping poopery on them.
And that'd be creepy as fuck if someone's doing that and you're like, oh, bro, that's wild. And then you go back in time on your cameras and you see this dude's been like hitting your house, peeing on your doormat, peeking in your windows, slapping your doors at night. Like, that's weird. And like I said, he's barefoot. He's close. He's close enough.
He's always barefoot?
I mean, I feel like it doesn't say he always is, but I'm assuming he is because they bring up the fact that he's barefoot. Why bring that up?
Yeah, it's true. That's his signature.
That's like it's his signature is.
I mean, maybe we're just making fun of a homeless person who doesn't have a place to go to the bathroom and can't afford shoes.
You heard that, man. Who wants this type of retribution?
That's true.
Like that's personal. You did something. You cut him in line at Quiznos or some shit. Now he's got it out for you. He's like, I'm gonna find that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. He took. Speaking of Quiznos, man, where are they?
There's still one in Denver because that's where the original Quiznos is.
Dude, I'm missing Quiznos.
It was pretty.
They
good.
replaced our Quiznos with a Jimmy John's. Womp. But you know what's close? Firehouse Subs.
Is Firehouse that good?
Yeah, there's a couple sandwiches there that I find very tasty and similar to Quiznos.
Okay, check it out. Because I'm not a big fan of Subway. Subway kind of bums me up. It just does. They're not that nice when I go in there. I feel like I'm pissing them off. This is another little article. We didn't have anything in here about it, but I just wanted to talk about it because it came out fairly recently. DOJ alleges Russian-funded U.S. media company linked to right-wing social media stars. So essentially, there's been an investigation. The unnamed Tennessee-based company that the Justice Department alleges was funded by Russian operatives working as part of a Kremlin-orchestrated influence operation targeting the 2024 election is Tenet Media, which is linked to right-wing commentators with millions of subscribers on YouTube and other social media platforms. That's like Tim Pool and all these chuckle fucks. Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, what's his name? Dave Rubin, are all under this brand. And were supposedly accepted like tens of millions of dollars from Russian operatives to influence. And then there's all these, I'm sorry, the company's number one is Tenet Media, yeah, which is a platform of independent content creators. It is self-described as a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural ideas. The goal of the operation, according to the prosecutors, was to fuel pro-Russian narratives and part of pushing content and news articles favoring Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump, who the Kremlin favors. The indictment also says that Company One's websites identify as 6 commentators. Yeah, and that's Tim Pool, Benny Johnson. Where's the other ones? Doesn't list all the other ones in here. And then Dave Rubin. And I don't know who the other 3 jabronis are. This is kind of a big deal. I mean, Tim Pool's super pro. Oh my God, Ukraine's the biggest enemy in the world to the United States. But I mean, then you come to find out the company
And he interviewed Trump like back in May.
Yeah, and then you think that's the guy who's fucking working for a company that's taken that much, like tens of millions of dollars from Russian operatives. It's like, oh man.
I'm telling you, bro. All these Republicans are like all the ones that are just all they do is say Russian talking points all the fucking time, dude. Like they're like this, like the Moscow wing of the Republican Party. Like I've heard people like Republicans talk about that it exists. Like like Marjorie Taylor Greene's like out there just like literally talking about Jewish space lasers and like, but like not like or like the yacht that is like Zelensky like bought, that's not true at all. Like just all sorts of shit. Like it's just like verbatim Russian shit and like these fools went up. Like I think McCarthy's like gone out to like Moscow. Kevin McCarthy.
Well, and speaking of all this misinformation, I mean that's actually that's like the next follow-up therapy question, so we can tie it into it. And just what percentage of information do you think is misinformation? That's therapy question number 3. Because we've seen recently that there's Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado, which ends up not being true. They're like, there is gang violence in Denver, which I've said there's been gang violence in Denver since when Trump was president. That's been going on for a while. Because Denver's just like that in some areas. I think every city has their own spot or some area where there's like high crime rates and there's gang violence. Where there's poverty begets crime, which also can beget like violence and gang violence. So yeah, that's kind of how the shit works. But the news outlets pumping that even after the mayor said it wasn't true, or sorry, the mayor said that it was true because the mayor is some crazy. I think he got kicked out of Congress. He was a big pro-Trumper, Jan 6er, then got voted out and became the mayor of Aurora. So he's like, oh yeah, it's crazy out here. It's a fucking war zone. Police chief does an interview with the people that live in this complex that are like, hey, stop trying to show up and like chase off gang members. Like my kids are hanging out outside, or like I actually live here. True story. That apartment complex is borderline condemned because there's some slumlord that fucking owns it. And he has these people living in shitty conditions. And it's like, I mean, in the interview, there's guys holding mouse traps with rats stuck to them. Being like, they're like, this is what this, like, if you want to talk about it, like, half of my windows are boarded up with plywood that I put in because my windows are busted. And I live here, and this guy's charging me $1,700 a month for rent type shit. But then, Hell's Angels are showing up to chase off the Venezuelans. And then it's the Venezuelans in Chicago. It's like, but there's all these different people, like a Tim Pool, like a Rubin, like Nick Fuentes, like all these little chuckle fucks that spread all this misinformation. So to answer it first, even though I was asking you, I'd say it's somewhere around 30 to 40%, but it seems like it's almost 80% is misinformation because
Like what from where? Like what are you talking about? Like online?
yeah, just in general, like information you would hear in like the news. What percentage do you think is misinformation?
In the real news?
Just in general, as a broad statement, like the news. Because if you were going to say, that's what I'm saying. If you look at like the right side, I'd say it's probably like 70% of the shit they push is
Yeah, dude.
propaganda talking points.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, like they'll put like
But both sides latch on to shit.
yeah, I mean like the way that the internet and social media works, it's like 10 million people can see some fake bullshit and before anybody has any chance to even say that that's not true. And then when they say it's not true, it's like, already 10 million people saw that
Believe it's
yeah,
true.
right. So like it's like it's a losing battle.
And
It's like
their
insanity.
favorite like indie band saw it and retweeted a post. And
I mean, I just don't understand why people haven't got to the point like of like just realizing that deepfakes and all that shit like exists and the people have an agenda like the Russians, the Chinese are trying to affect the election and just like
yeah, but
pump the fucking brakes. Like
I think these
before...
deep fakes are slowly getting better, but you can tell when it's like an AI generated deep fake.
Yeah, like how about this? Like my mom like asked me like where I get my news information because she has a hard like the shit she like
Yeah.
gets like on Facebook and shit is like so whack. And I'm like the same places that you got it when the same places your dad got it when he was getting a newspaper. Does any company that has something to lose is a company you probably can trust. It's like if it's an ABC, a New York Times, whatever. It's like Fox News fucks around. Well, guess what? They got hit with a fucking $1 billion like lawsuit, and there's a $2 billion one down the pike. But yeah, it's just like I'm not saying that like the New York Times is always getting it right or whatever the fuck, but they're not like out here like trying or just like pumping like purposely fake shit.
No, I know. That's why I said it might be overall somewhere at like 30% of like what we hear on a day-to-day basis. Might not be, but if you were to break that down, almost 70% of what we hear from some of these Tim Pools, some of these people that are now being investigated by the Department of Justice for taking Russian money for spreading propaganda, like that's wild. Like those are the people, what they spit out almost 90% of the time is bullshit. Those are the biggest voices, right? So it's like how much real news is there on Twitter? Probably a decent amount, but how much of it is being pumped by like the guy who owns the app? I open up Twitter and all I see is Elon Musk on my For You page. That's all I fucking see, and he's spreading just like tons of just ridiculous disinformation all the fucking time. It's so obvious. He's like he tried to be coy about it before, and now it's just reaching this whole nother level where Twitter's become so just like racist and misogynistic, and it's like racism, anti-women, anti-people of color, gay, anything anti-LGBTQ, and then it's like crypto,
or as Elon Musk would call it, freedom of speech.
Yeah, but then he got in trouble. But then it came out that he complied with what the Turkish government, the government in Turkey to suppress articles and suppress what was being distributed in Turkey if it like depending on certain political leans. He like admitted to it, so it's not freedom of speech. If you're a free speech absolutist, you'd be like setting the world on fire because
he's not a free speech He doesn't even dude. He like bans people who like don't like agree with him or talk shit about him or track his airplane or whatever the fuck. Like a free speech absolutist. He's full of shit.
And the bots are crazy because there's like what Donald Trump said that he might have. If I'm elected, I'll have Elon Musk help me. With government efficiency and make our government more efficient. And then like the bots on Twitter are just like, great, hey, that's a match made in heaven, Elon. Like it's like the corniest shit, bro. Where it's just wild to see somebody promote the shit that he promotes. And it's like there's people who are like, dude, you're fucking lying. Like fuck you, dude. I'll talk shit to him on there sometimes. I know he'll never see it, but it still feels good. I'm hoping because one day, what if it's like I'm like my account's locked? I'll be like, oh damn, I got to him. He got mad.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Fuck that guy.
All right, therapy question number 4. If you could locate one lost item from your life or something that you got rid of at any moment in your life, what would it be? Something that you lost that you're like, damn, I wish I never lost that.
I mean, I can remember one when I was a kid. It was like a Superman action figure, and I lost it. And I was like so bummed out and like thought about it for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like, did it like do shit? Or that's what I'm saying. That's a good
I
one.
don't know. I thought it was like super cool.
Normally you're a dick about questions like this, and you're like, I don't know, I got nothing. My V card, bro. You'd say some goofy shit like that, and that was like actually heartfelt. That was weird. That was weird. Look at that, episode 151. Cracking the egg.
Well, I just was trying to think, like, because that popped in my head, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Mom would
I bought a pack of menthol cigarettes like a couple of months ago, and you know they're banned out here in California. I spent $18 on them, and then I got like in my car, and, like I just didn't have them, and I searched everywhere. Like I like retraced my steps. I went back, and it was like 3 restaurants because like we were like out like hopping like restaurants, like could not find them. That was the worst.
That would suck. That would suck.
I was going crazy because it's like, where the fuck could they possibly? Like, where could I have put them? I think they just fell out of my pocket, like, and I just didn't notice as I was like walking.
Mine would. I think one of mine would be my Xbox that I had. I had one of the original Xboxes, but it had like a huge hard drive on it, and you could upload CDs on it. So you could download music to it. So I had music that I'll never be able to replace. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could download whole CDs. So if I had that, I could pull all of that music from it and have a bunch of stuff. Like,
Where'd it go?
I pressed that button for myself. So when I got kicked out, Mom kicked me out. Was crashing on the Bufe's floor for a while. Then my mom called me back. When I went back to go get all my stuff, because my stuff was out front, I had to go back and get the rest of it. It was gone. She got rid of it, man. My mom did some shit. My mom did some shit with it, and I had like the GTA trilogy. I had like NFL Street 2. I had like good like Tiger Woods Golf 05. I had some like good shit, but it was really like the music. I probably had like 8 gigs worth of music on that fucking thing. You know, I mean, you have Spotify and stuff. Some of those songs, like, you can't find, you know, like those old school, like, Dallas rap songs or just, like, versions of shit that you could never find. I had tons of Michael Watts that, like, I could never find those songs again. Like, those versions of those albums, they don't exist, or, you know, they're not put online. I mean, I guess for a while that was the only place where I guess I could go buy them, but, like, listen in my car and shit, you know? Because there's some stuff like De La Soul just put their stuff up on Spotify and like Apple Music and stuff. Maybe like within the past 4 years, if that.
Shout out De La Soul.
Yeah, but you know, like I mean, it's just and shit. Like Michael Watts has been dead, dog. So,
Yeah.
So someone like Lil Flip's like, I own that shit, and they know, but I own all the rights to it. You know, like it's all tangled in some shit. So.
I thought the farmer bro bought it.
Well, did he?
No, dude.
Well, it's possible.
Skrelly.
So that probably, yeah, that would be one of them. Then as a toy from my childhood, bro, I would take back because it'd be worth a shit ton. But I had the whole like street level underground with the building Ninja Turtles toy. So I had that thing with like where you could roll them down and go into the sewer with the base. And then I got like the building part to it. Come on, man. My parents were divorced. My dad wasn't around that much, so he was like, "Here's a toy, love you." So nice. You got to pick and choose. You got to know what toys to ask for, right? So it's like, oh, I'm gonna get this in December. Then in March I'll get like the edition, and then we'll connect them. And
you have long-term plans on your Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
You're a better man than me.
Yeah, you had to be controlled. I had to pick and choose. I was very self-aware, so I was like, oh, okay, I could use this to my advantage. But yeah, for sure, definitely that. Or maybe my Dreamcast, but I could go buy one. But it's just not the same. But yeah, probably my Ninja Turtles sewer and street level setup because it had like the van, so you could like drive the van on the road. It was it was big as shit. Because my sisters had the Barbie doll house and all that big bougie shit, and they had way more stuff than me, so I was pretty low maintenance. I was like, look, dog, get me this building, give me this thing that looks like a sewer, give me these like turtles and this rat dude, and we straight. My dad was like, all right, bet, like done. I was like, I'll stay out of your hair. I promise I won't get in trouble. He's like, cool. So probably that.
One time I was telling my dad how there's this hot chick. I was like 9 years old. I told my dad how there was this hot chick that worked at TCBY, the country's best yogurt.
Let's go. Shout out TCBY, dog. Still going strong.
Yeah, the cartel there. Some asshole owns that.
Of course, it's some like boomer who sells yogurt. He's got to be.
No, it's somebody we know. Like that sucks. I forget who.
Somebody we know that we grew up with owns a TCBY?
No, like the society. No, like it's like a famous person.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like somebody we know personally.
Yeah, I just found
douchebag.
out.
I was like, I wouldn't be that surprised. It's possible.
But, so my dad said, if I go in there and ask her for a number, he'd buy me anything, like any toy I wanted, and that's how I got a gun for the Super Nintendo.
Hey, that's smart. That's a good use, dude. Duck Hunt, that opens it up. A whole nother genre of games come to you. If you have the Duck Hunt Mario combo, like I had, so you had the one where it was 2 games in one, and you
yeah. That's how
you had the combo. You didn't have the gun, you could only play half the game, dog. And you'd just be looking at Duck Hunt, and you could click it, and it would play, but you couldn't shoot, you couldn't do dick. Dog just laughing at you the whole time. You're like, fuck you, bro. Like, I'm gonna get you one of these days, dude. Everybody tries to shoot the dog. Yeah, for sure. And if I could have one thing back, I've been thinking about this. So when we were kids, they opened up Tinseltown. This is probably. I don't know if you were even living in the area when that happened. When they opened
Tinseltown?
Yeah, Tinseltown. When it first opened,
Yeah.
It was like a
I don't know when it first opened, but
when it first opened, there was a Polaroid picture. I had it for forever. I don't know what happened to it. And that's what, man, like I got some stuff, but I lost a lot of things. And, the kicked out of the house, I didn't get to pack my shit. When I got we went there on like the opening day, and I got a picture of me. I'm in this long sleeve Garfield shirt that says Catitude, and he's got like a backwards hat, and it's got like quarter sleeves that are red plaid, and it's got a hood that's red plaid, but it's a white t-shirt. It's like the most 90s shit you've ever seen. I'm a little kid, and it's me, and there's like 4 Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders like next to me, and they're all, and I'm short, so they're like leaning down really low, and I'm just like totally not even looking at the camera while the picture's taken. It's like the funniest fucking picture ever. I had it for a long ass time. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, I think I'd find that back.
bad. I think,
and it's a Garfield shirt too. It's like meme worthy. It'd be like, man, if the internet existed, this picture would be. I mean, maybe it did. I think Al Gore was working on it when that was happening.
Why has he got to catch a stray, bro?
He's super serial. I'm serial right now.
But he got the funding for DARPA to invent the internet. He
invented the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was working on it.
And he also told y'all assholes about climate change 24 years ago.
True. Therapy question number 5. You could have any creature as a trained personal pet, so it's like chill as fuck, but it would fuck somebody up if you wanted it to, or do whatever you wanted it to. What would you choose to be your pet? And it wouldn't be like inhumane, like this chimp crazy show and all that fucking weird shit, or Tiger King shit. That show is crazy. I don't know if you've been watching that on HBO, with that white lady who's got the chimpanzee and is like obsessed with her chimp, and like, bruh, you need to go watch Chimp Crazy. It's the wildest shit. It's fucked up. This lady's fucked up. I don't know how else to describe it. No, my
I didn't even.
I didn't even think it. It's fucked up. You just gotta watch it. I mean, there's one where this.
It's not Jane. It's not Jane Goodall.
No, it's like this crazy ass. This bitch is. I don't even know.
Is she white?
Bruh, come on. Of course she's white.
I know.
With like big blonde wigs and like wears the wildest outfits. Like her lipstick looks terrible. She's built this like cage inside her house where she's keeping this chimp that she says has had a stroke and is having congenital heart failure. But you're like, bruh, if that thing got out of that cage and got its hands on you, it would fucking murder you. And it tells these other stories about how chimps have escaped and murdered people because you should not be keeping chimps in your house. And they tell all these other stories. Like, this shit's wild. And this is like going on. So then the courts are like, oh, you gotta get rid of this chimp. And it's like, dude, it's fucked up. That's all I gotta say. It's on HBO. You should go watch it. Chimp Crazy. You'll watch 10 minutes of it and you'll be like, bro, this bitch is wild. And just, it gets worse. It's awesome.
Chimp Crazy.
Every Sunday. But what pet would you have? What would you choose?
I have two that I want to pick, but I'm not sure.
Well, you can pick two.
No, I just don't. Not sure if those are good picks. I'd say either a sloth
Okay.
or an octopus.
See, that would be cool, but then, like, if you're on land, so you couldn't really do shit with it. That's what I'm saying. I'd want something that could, like,
Well,
go with me, patrol with me. Sloth would be cool. It'd, like, vibe on you.
Yeah. Can I just keep the octopus, like, wet?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it is problematic.
That would be.
That's why I was hesitating. And the sloth's kind of slow.
Yeah, but it'd be cool. See, a sloth.
Kind of.
Sloth would be more of like a companion. You're like, hey, this
That's
is my
what I'm
homie.
saying.
He's hanging out with me. You'd be like, hey, go get me a beer, but you're relaxing, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. You know, you let him know you need another beer halfway through because he'll be back with it.
Well, I don't drink, but halfway through, the Dallas Aquarium had a sloth chilling, like by like the gift shop, without a cage, just like on a tree one. Like when I was there, like a long ass time ago. But like since we were like I think I was like 19, and it was the coolest. And I took a picture of it, and it was like the coolest picture I ever took. That's something I lost that I needed back.
The sloth
That
picture.
of that sloth.
The sloth picture, dead ass. Yeah, sloth would be pretty chill. That'd be that's like a companion buddy. He's not gonna do anything. Probably not gonna save your life, but that'd be tight. I'd probably do like, it'd have to be either some sort of dog or some sort of cat. That'd be cool.
Okay, well I already have a dog.
Well, I'm saying, but like an African hunting dog or like a dingo. It'd be some wild ass dog or a hyena.
No, fuck a hyena, dude.
But it would be under your control. It'd be chill as fuck.
No, chill as fuck. It'd be laughing like a maniac.
Only when I said speak, I'd be like,
No. You know what I'm thinking of? Like those crazy ass monkeys in India that just be like stealing shit from people, out their hands.
That'd be cool. A lemur would be cool. Lemurs are pretty chill, and they jump around. They'd be quick. They bring you some, hey. You'd be like, what's up, bro? Like that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or like a fox. Fox would be a cool pet too if you had a kick-ass fox. Because I know it's like a dog, but they're like different, and it's like the whole issue of like you could have a fox, but it would be like wild as shit in some ways. Like I want it to be, like, hey.
I don't want to fuck around with a fox.
Why not? Foxes are cool. They're like super cool dogs.
No.
You don't think so?
Nah, bro.
What do you got against foxes?
I don't know. They don't like humans.
That's not true.
I like dogs that like humans.
I like my dogs that like humans. A lot of people are saying foxes don't like humans. I don't know if that's true or not. A lot of people are just saying it.
And then I made the fox die like a dog.
My favorite part of Fox and the Hound is whenever that fox is going to get shot. It's the best part. It gives me a boner every time.
Every time I play Smash Bros, I'm Star Fox.
Yeah, I hate Star Fox. I was always a peppy guy. I like rabbits. Do a somersault.
Bigly.
Bigly. Try a somersault. Man, I meant that game was lit as fuck, dude. That'd be cool. Fox would be kind of cool, actually. Now that I think about it, Fox would be pretty cool. Elephant would be tight, but that'd be just too much upkeep. If it was like in South Park, a potbelly elephant, like a little mini elephant, that'd be tight.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want a tiger or anything like that.
You know that like pigs and dogs are like the same. They're the same amount of intelligence, and they have like personalities and shit.
Yeah, pigs are funny as fuck, dude. People keep
I know that
pigs inside their house. They're like
pigs are like on the same level as dogs as far as like evolution. Yeah, we like systematically like slaughter pigs and then we just like chill with dogs.
Well,
And,
look at this dog.
like if somebody like ate a like dog meat, like we'd fucking like lose it. But bacon all day.
Oh yeah, put that on my burger.
I think that's gonna be like a thing. 100 years.
What,
from now.
eating dogs?
No, that we're gonna look back on like slavery, and we're like, dude, y'all treated animals like that, and people would be like, dude, I wouldn't have done it back then, and it's like, nah, like it was just normal, you know.
Yeah.
Like remember we were talking about like plants being sentient, like it's like, yeah, once we like have the technology to like create food without like harming animals.
Well, yeah, but then they'll be like, oh, well, they didn't know how to make like meat in tubes, or they were figuring it out.
Nah, they'd still be like some bullshit.
They might, but I don't think it'll be as dramatic as say slavery, because like
the slavery is like unnecessary, but like eating is.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
yeah, it kept the human.
If you found out people in like ancient times were like, oh, they ate horse steaks, you'd be like, oh, that's gross. Like, but that's like all that's like.
No, I'm just talking about eating animals in general.
Yeah, maybe. Or what if?
Or the way that we do it, like on like
Skynet takes over, we become mechanical hybrids, and we're like, haha, they ate. We don't even need to eat. Eating is for pussies. Like, what if that happens?
No, we're not gonna let that happen, dude. Not on my watch.
Elon's trying, dude. Neuralink, dude. People are playing Counter-Strike with their brains.
Rudy Giuliani would let that happen, but not me, dude.
Yeah. Fucking wild, dude. I want to make like a joke quote about some of the shit that he's accused of saying, but I don't even know if I could say that. I think we might get struck down. I might get.
What are you talking about?
Have you like heard or read any of the stuff that Rudy Giuliani is accused of saying, and like what he was like?
Some of it, like where he was like harassing this lady, that,
like via text, but then like even like there's like even more stuff has been coming to light that's like just bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah, he's gross.
And he's like, how old? So he's like old as fuck. Like it creeps me the fuck out. He's like the Penguin. He's like the Penguin in real life. If Donald Trump is the Joker, Rudy Giuliani is totally
Trump's
the fuck.
Not the Joker.
Then who is it? Then who would he be? Who would he be then?
I don't know.
Well, I'm saying in that group.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to give him that status.
We gotta give it to somebody. Miller.
He's like a broke ass Joker.
Steve Bannon. Stephen Miller. Who do we give it to?
Steve Bannon's face is like that.
He'd be He's Clayface. He's Clayface. He's fucking Clayface. He's like melting all the time and throwing balls of clay and is like wah, wah. Has some weird ass fucking teeth. Like that's easy. Like that's what I'm saying. Is Trump's like probably the Joker just because he's like the most dangerous.
Yeah. And he wears makeup.
Most dangerous in the group. Then Stephen Miller is probably Scarecrow. But maybe not. It might be JD Vance. JD Vance could be the Scarecrow. Zero social skills. Who's got to like drug you to scare you. Because otherwise you're like, this guy's just fucking weird. Like, get out of my office. He's like, and now I'm afraid of you. Like, I feel like that's some JD Vance shit. I'm kind of, well, he's in Batman, dude. He's like,
I was thinking of Wizard of Oz. Like, I was like,
nah, if he was Wizard of Oz, they're all
the wizard.
They're all flying monkeys.
They're all
flying monkeys. And Putin's the Wizard of Oz because he's behind the curtain. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sending out these monkeys, dog."
Behind the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, hey, see,
Hey.
I got this, dude. I got this shit down. I hit you with that Clayface though. When I said Clayface for Steve Bannon, you're like, "Shit, that's perfect." That needs to be a shirt.
I was gonna say like Harvey Dent. Is that the guy's name? Like,
Harvey Dent you would think it's Rudy Giuliani, but Giuliani's become.
well, no.
the
What is it?
Penguin.
What does he become?
He's Two-Face.
Yeah.
So you would.
I was gonna make the Two-Face joke because of Steve Bannon's face, but you hit it harder.
Yeah, but he used to be a good guy and became a bad guy. So you need to find somebody who was a good guy and became a
Steve
bad guy.
Bannon was. He was a liberal, dude. He produced Seinfeld.
Well, that just sounds like opportunity. I mean, it's like, hey, do you
I'm
want to do
just
the show? You want to be a producer? She's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
No, I think he like threw money at it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he was throwing money at a lot of stuff. He's just like now. I mean, I guess no, that's a different stance because he was throwing money to Jewish men to make a TV show based around being Jewish. And now you hear him talk, and you're like, what? You did that? So that's actually true. So he's actually. But I still like Clayface more.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene would probably be, what's her name? Harley Quinn. Or Bobert, or Bobes. Shout out Bobes, dude. Crashing out in her debates. Bobes look like a fucking moron. It's awesome. Do you need a break, or do you want to get into articles?
Let's just do a break. Looking like a fucking moron, or can we just call her a fucking moron?
Well, yeah, but it's just great when it happens in like real
like
time.
Sarah Palin, but somehow dumber.
It's like, no, but it's great. It's like knowing somebody's a bad driver, and you're like, oh, that guy's a bad driver. But then you see them like get in a parking lot accident, like leaving work, and you're like, told, like, say, like we know it. There's dings and dents all over the car, so you know they're a bad driver. But then you get to like get that just like in time affirmation, like just reaffirming what you already thought. Like that's priceless. That's like, that's good. So yeah, it's just
It's satisfying.
Yeah, it's just in a different way,
Yeah, it quenches like your thirst.
a lot of thirst, a lot of thirst. It's like a liquid IV. It's not that doesn't taste that good because it's a part of like American politics right now. So it's bitter and gross as fuck, but it's still like hydrating, and I'm like, ooh, I'm getting nutrient sustenance from her failure. So that's good.
And her pussy, if you know.
Oh no, you gotta take her to go. You gotta go to Beetlejuice.
That's true. Well, isn't Beetlejuice 2 out?
Shout out. Let's go.
Destiny, bro.
Let's go. Break time.
I can meet her in Aurora, Colorado, or whatever.
What was that?
We'll be right. I said I can meet her in Aurora, Colorado. Bobert.
True, you could. No, I think she's on the other side of the mountain now.
I don't give a fuck. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
And we're back. Time for the articles. Joseph, the first article is brought to you by the Texas Monthly by Sasha von Olderschossen. The title is, He was born male. He identifies as male, but Ken Paxton is ensuring his driver's license says he's female. A Houston man who chose to detransition after living as a trans woman had a court order permitting him to change the sex on his driver's license back to male. His request was denied. Last week, Razavi, who asked to be identified by his last name only, went to the Houston DPS office to change the name and sex on his Texas driver's license. After transitioning to a female a few years ago and changing all legal documents accordingly, he said he realized he would always be viewed as a second-class citizen, so he detransitioned, and in March he obtained a court order from a district court in Travis County to change his license back. But after a new policy was quietly rolled out last week via an internal email prompted by the Office of the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, the Texas Department of Public Safety will no longer accept a court order as a basis to change a person's sex on their driver's license. Razavi's request was denied. I'm a biological male, Razavi told Texas Monthly. I'm 6'5" with a beard and actual penis. But according to Ken Paxton, I am to remain legally a woman. What do you think about this, bro?
I think Ken Paxton's a piece of shit. What do you mean? Ken Paxton's gonna Ken Paxton.
So in this email circulated through the agency with KUT News obtained from an anonymous source, employees were instructed to disregard court orders such as the one Razavi supplied. Effective immediately, August 20th, 2024, the department will not accept court orders or amended birth certificates issued that change the sex when it differs from the documentation already on file, the email stated. For current driver license/ID holders, the sex established at the time of original application and listed in the driver record will not be changed unless there was a clerical error.
I mean, that'd be a good bar trick, though. Be like, I bet you $100. My license says female. Like, no, it doesn't. Fuck you. You might be able to get some money out of some drunk people. But that's just crazy. That's Texas being Texas, trying to stop people from changing their stuff now. So if I wanted to change mine to female, that's what they want to stop from happening.
Right.
But they're not like letting people change their minds.
Yeah, like everything that they say, it's we're restricting abortion except for in the cases of the life of the mother, and it's and then we see it play out, and it's like women are
suing the state of Texas,
about to die, and then he's still denying them the shit when they're legit about to die, and the baby's not gonna survive. It's that how it plays out in reality is not how they sell it,
No, definitely. I mean, Ken Paxton's just one of the biggest douchebags in politics. Not
And he has no actual principles, It's
no, his principles are making money, imposing his will upon others, and maintaining the stranglehold on Texas politics that he has. Because if he doesn't have it, he's fucked. He's just one of those where if he loses power, he's fucked. So he has to do everything he can to stay in power and appease people. Do we know if he agrees with this or not? I'm assuming he does because he's a piece of shit. But we would never know, because if it's something that's going to be a snatch grab of some fucking voters, he's going to fucking do it. Right now he's being investigated for voter intimidation and all sorts of other illegal practices in the state of Texas regarding the 2024 election. I mean, this is a guy who made it to where they could cut the drop off boxes for ballots, for mail-in ballots, for them to drop them off. I think in Harris County it went from 700 and something to 5.
Which is where Houston is, which is a huge black population. So the drop off ballots where you can fill it out at your house and then just go drop it off. You don't have to put it in the mail. Yeah. They got rid of those.
He's on record saying post that if we didn't restrict mail-in voting, we might have lost Texas. We might have lost the governorship. We might have
As
lost
in the Republicans.
Yeah, the Republicans might have lost the state on the governor level and for the presidential election. He's openly admitted that the margin in the state of Texas with these elections is not as big as people think it is. Right. It's a lot closer. It's like hundreds of thousands of votes. Not like, oh, it's, there are 8 million more votes. It's no. It's like, oh, they had 350,000 more votes. Something
because the demographics are changing.
Yeah. Oh, constantly. But no, I mean, this is just why people hate Texas. Why I still wonder why I live here sometimes.
Yeah. What else? What it says is so that email that tells the employees to not let people change their shit with like a court order. It also says then email that information on the person trying to change their sex to the specific email, so like that they're compiling a list of everybody who went and tried to change their sex on their driver's license. Like for what reason we don't know, but that's fucked up. They're like they're now like keeping
tabs on people.
Oh, and on people who are like trying to transition. You
know?
Just like they like try to pass laws to track people's like fucking menstrual cycles and shit. Like, that's insane. What the fuck, Republicans? Small government.
Yeah, but it's Texas Republicans are the worst. Republicans are bad. Texas Republicans are like a whole nother level. It's like a Mississippi Republican, an Alabama Republican. You're like, ugh. Everything about you makes you want to throw up. You're just like so ignorant, so narrow-minded.
And have like this arrogance about.
Oh yeah, they're very arrogant because that's like that.
That Texas is its own country.
Well, not just that. There's like most of the people who take those stances or have something like that with abortion. There's almost a direct correlation between that and some sort of religious stance, religious background, religious beliefs, right? So, a Christian thinks he's better than you and thinks he can decide better than you. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's pretty spot on. That's like hitting the nail on the head. Like that's not like a reach. That's very like within the realm of like, oh no, I've read this story before. So and Ken Paxton, all of these guys like to use the veil of their Christian stance or their religious beliefs as like a foundation for why they can treat other people badly. So
it gives them authority.
Yeah, it gives them like a stance where it's like, well, this might be tough. Like what I'm doing might not be right by them, but I'm doing the right thing for them. They just don't understand it. Right? That's like, oh, why'd you take this away from me? It's like a parent being like, well, you don't have to understand. You'll get it when you're older. It's like the same bullshit where it's that stance of like, oh, well, I believe in Jesus, so I know better than you. So you poor thing, like poor child, bless you, child. Like that's like
I actually think like more like Republicans are like full of shit like about like believing in Jesus. They just use it to get votes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they use it, and then by taking that stance in public, even those people who would vote for somebody because they believe he's that way, they have like a moral superiority that they believe they have. That's why they can be condescending as fuck and arrogant as shit.
Yeah. No, I'm sure like when you're for decades like just like playing the Republicans playing to the Christian like to the evangelicals and shit, eventually you're gonna get a bunch of them in office who actually
like who are some of the most
like MAGA, like I'm saying like MAGA Mike Johnson. He's the true believer in Christianity. It's like eventually you start getting these people in office. Like
and he has that arrogance.
You play to the crazies, and all of a sudden the crazies are your party, bro. Like look at Marjorie Taylor Greene.
What I'm saying about Mike Johnson's got that arrogance to him that you would expect somebody.
For sure.
Like who were some of the rudest kids that you would grow up with and know in high school. It's like the super Jesus-y crowd are the ones who are like, y'all drink or smoke. Oh my God, y'all are terrible people. It's like, bro, we're like 17. Shut the fuck up. But right, like those were always like the ones that would snitch on you for some. I know that Andy and Joseph skipped class because I saw them in the parking lot. And you'd be like, who narked on us? And you're like, oh yeah, it's that fucking Jesus girl with the fish sticker on the back of her fucking Saturn, bitch. Like that's the girl that's gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Because they're like, well, because I just do everything right, and they're bad people, so I have to say something. because they're
Right.
bad people. It's like, no, bitch, like, you're a bad person for not keeping your mouth shut. Leave me alone. I'm trying to go to
Exact-
Whack
on
Arnold's. I'm trying to get word on the street is word on AIM. Shake machines up, bro. We trying to go to Whack Arnold's. Get the fuck out of my way.
Hey.
But not surprising. I mean, this is par for the course for the state of Texas.
For sure. Just another one. We're just keeping
Yeah, like
tallies.
DJ Khaled. Another one. That's a good. It's a great one. Thanks. Shout out Ken Paxton, friend of the pod. Piece of shit.
Okay, next article from CNN, Monica Garrett and Steve Tumblr. Asteroid burns up in Earth's atmosphere over Philippines. When I sent this, it said, or when I posted this in the notes, it actually said, asteroid coming, crashing into Earth imminently. I was like, what?
Yeah.
A roughly 1 meter, 3 foot asteroid burned up in Earth's atmosphere over the Philippines near Luzon Island early Wednesday afternoon, according to NASA. The European Space Agency estimated the impact occurred at 12:39 p.m. Eastern Time. The Catalina Sky Survey discovered the object, initially called CAQ-TDL2, but now named 2024 RW1, this morning. Asteroids around 1 meter in size are estimated to hit Earth about every 2 weeks, according to the Space Agency, though they are very rarely spotted before making impact to the planet. This is just the 9th asteroid that humankind has ever spotted before impact. The object was harmless as it was small enough to burn up in the atmosphere upon entry. Skygazers in the area posted video on social media that captured a spectacular fireball. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
Every 2 weeks, but every 2 weeks we only caught 9. That's the problem. Where's Bruce Willis? Get him up there.
Well, he's not there to catch pictures of him. He's there to drill into him and save the planet. You don't send Bruce Willis up for no reason.
Get Steven Tyler up there.
That's fine. He can go. He'll just do a concert and die.
Yeah. That was a little fun fact for today.
That would be trippy to see. When you see pictures and stuff like that and you wonder, like, seeing that way back in the day, like prehistoric, like early mankind, seeing something like that and how dark it would be, so how bright that would be in the sky, it would be a trip. You'd be able to see that from way farther away.
That's how you get a couple gods,
Created. Yeah, for sure. That's some creating some gods.
That's where On God came from. Like, it was an asteroid just coming, burning up through the atmosphere. On God, bro.
On gosh. Yuck.
Shut the fuck out of here, dude.
Let's go. Like a Goofy movie, dude. Powerline. That'd be cool to see. That'd be tight to see if you're on, like, some mushrooms or something. Like,
I mean, if I knew what it was, like, I don't want to see that just randomly on mushrooms.
Well, yeah, but you'd be like, hey, yeah, I guess I could go south quick. You'd be like, oh man,
for sure.
Like, that's totally like aliens, man. You could spin out. So good call.
Yeah, a fucking asteroid's coming like through the sky while I'm on mushrooms. Like, fuck that.
Or you'd be like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and you'd have like a life-changing experience.
Nah, man, the paranoia kicks in real quick.
Word.
When we were in Joshua Tree, we were all on mushrooms outside, like by the pool, like, and this is first night, late, and it's like late at night. All of a sudden, we just see these giant flames, like from seemingly coming from like the house next to us, and we all like are like looking at each other, like, is this like actually happening right now? It's like 1 a.m. and did this house just set on fire? And like we ran over there, and like they had like some sort of like barbecue or like outdoor fireplace that I think they like tried to turn on and it went like crazy, but they like turned it off and got it, but it was like real, but it was like one of those things like, is this about to happen while we're all tripping on mushrooms? Like, yeah, what, like we're out in the desert and the house next to us just catches on fucking fire. What?
Oh, that would be terrifying.
It was. But it was like, because it was so insane out of nowhere, it was like none, like we were all had to like check to like ourselves and each other to be like, what is this real? So yeah, shit like that's not fun.
Yeah.
Next article from the Wall Street Journal by Yaroslav Trofimov. Russia's military fears for its secrets after Telegram founder's arrest. Platform has become a critical communications tool for Russian forces during the war in Ukraine. So I don't know if y'all saw, but France arrested the founder and CEO of Telegram like last week on some like shit, like because there's like so many like crimes going on, and there's like a lot of like child sex, like porn and shit, like
It was like trafficking and porn and drugs
and they've like
guns.
asked for his like help, like getting information on like that like people doing that, and he's like completely like refused, like he just doesn't even like respond to that shit. So France just straight up arrested him when he was like in Paris or something, and they were like allowed to like I haven't seen the update on like
I think he touched down at the airport. He was arrested.
Yeah,
at the airport after he landed.
And I knew they could keep him up to 3 days, like without charging him. But I should have looked to see like, get an update on that. But so that happened. Telegram for the United States audience, it's like it's a messaging app, right?
It's big over here.
Yeah, it's not like it's got like 1 billion users, and most of them are outside of the United States.
Okay.
But it did get big like on the right, like
the alt-right militias, neo-Nazis, a lot
like
of those
the
people.
QAnon, like my coworker who was like into QAnon, she was the first time I heard about QAnon, because I was in the office on the sales floor on a call with a customer, and I just hear Tom Hanks, he's a pedophile. And I like had to get off the phone with my customer and walk back. I'm like, did you say Tom Hanks was a pedophile? And like Brandon, like this is like nobody really knew about QAnon yet, like, and and she's like, oh yeah, and then like that's how I
look at all these pictures, look at the codes.
But she would tell me like that she like saw shit on Telegram. I'm like, goddamn. Okay, so but not just the Russians are using Telegram for communications, the Ukrainians are as well, but the founder is Russian. Russian authorities have reacted with unusual fury to the arrest of Telegram founder Pavel Durov. Telegram is more than a mere social media app to Moscow. Russian soldiers and spies depend on it for battlefield communications, including the guidance of artillery, the coordination of movements, and intelligence gathering. Many are joking that the arrest of Pavel Durov is essentially the arrest of the chief signals officer of the Russian armed forces, said Alexei Rogozin, a Russian parliament advisor and former senior military industry executive. The Russian military found out quickly after the 2022 invasion of Ukraine that its units had a hard time communicating with each other, and that its encrypted radio traffic was easily intercepted by Ukrainians. Modern communication capabilities were scarce and remain so, given the rapid expansion of the Russian armed forces since then. Legacy Soviet technologies, meanwhile, have proved ill-suited for a new type of warfare in which drones and the instant transfer of images and videos assumed a critical role. Both the Russian... Oh, no. I clicked out of it. Ooh. Real quick on the drones, while we were on break, Ukraine, I just saw this article and I looked at it. Ukraine has a new drone that spits out fire like a fucking dragon, like napalm, and these drones fly up like to the trenches that Russians dig and just light them up. It's crazy. Like I saw the video of
so
it.
They're just have flamethrowers attached to them. So they fly in and like hover over and take off like a plane would, like a little plane. No,
they fly. They get to the trench and then it just like spews out like a line of fire.
Like a flamethrower, yeah.
Yeah, and it just goes down like the trench and just like covers it in fire and like napalm and like just lights the whole fucking shit up. It's insane.
And flies away. That'd be a shitty way to die, dude.
Yeah, dude. And it's like working. Like it's just like it like.
I bet you got some little robot. You can fly that in from so far away.
Fucking flying robots spitting fire, dude. Like that's where we're at.
Yeah, well, we were also at whenever we killed that Zahari guy when he got killed by that missile that just got like 4 blades on it that just turned him into goo.
That was tight.
That's quiet. You don't even hear it coming, and like that.
But that was so
we've
that
used
we
it.
didn't kill anybody else.
Well, no, we've used it a couple other times, and you can see where it's like someone's driving, like in the passenger seat of the car, and you can see where it went through the passenger seat. Everybody else gets out of the car okay, and it's just like goes all the way through the bottom and sticks in the ground. That shit's crazy. We got all sorts of wild stuff. Like a drone that blows up on impact is like the least. Like
They don't blow up.
well, so I mean, you could have one that you could have.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Iranian drones that they're selling Russia. Those are like kamikaze drones.
Yeah, so you could have drones that blow
They're
up.
like
on
they're
impact.
like actual like yeah they're like drones / missiles. Like the drone is the missile. So
But we have drones. We have like Predator drones and
They're like
stuff.
suicide drones.
that fly around like planes, and we just strap those to
Yeah.
them and then shoot them off of it, which is even crazier.
yeah.
But a flamethrower drone, bro, get the fuck out of here. That'd be so
Yeah.
shitty. That's a
And
shitty way to die.
It's crazy when you see it. It's just wild. Okay, back to the article. Both the Russian and Ukrainian militaries start relying on commercial platforms, while the Ukrainians prefer Western providers such as Signal or Discord. Signal's where I used to get the cocaine delivered in a limo via Signal. The Russians chose Telegram because it is based in the United Arab Emirates. That's where that guy fled. He had to like flee Russia, and so he went to the UAE.
Yeah.
And all these, the UAE's like, yeah, come over here, bro. And the founder of Telegram, he has like citizenships in like 8 different countries. All these countries were like happy to give it to him. They think the app is more impervious to Western signals intelligence. As wild as it sounds, the transmission of intelligence, the targeting of artillery, the broadcasting of drone feeds, and many other things are currently very frequently done via Telegram. Russian troops access Telegram either through cell phone networks or Starlink satellite terminals initially used exclusively by Ukrainian forces, but now more frequently operated by Russian units in occupied parts of Ukraine.
I'm watching this video of this drone, and that's fucking crazy. It's just like
Fire drone?
it's just like raining fire from the sky,
Yeah.
and just like a straight line.
Yeah.
It's like a wall. Jesus Christ. That's
Get
crazy.
fucked, Russia.
And it's like accurate. Like it's not setting fire to the trees around it. That's fucking wild. And then it's just like burning. Dude, that's insane. That's crazy. See, wars become so fucking wild, man.
I know.
War is so crazy now that it's just like,
I know, but like when shit gets when shit's crazy, it's like I don't know. I feel like people don't like. They're like, ah, whatever. It's like if you told me like that, 15 years ago, there's gonna be flying robots that spit out fire like a fucking dragon on a house, whatever the house.
or have retractable katanas that'll slice you up into.
Yeah, it's like
What?
It's like what or what? No. Like there was a time where Obama wouldn't even admit that we had drones. I think Iran got shot down a drone of ours, and we wouldn't even claim it because we didn't nobody else had the technology for a drone. Now you go to the mall
Yeah.
and get it. Yeah, it's yeah.
Like your favorite hole in the wall bars doing a promo on TikTok with a drone flying through while everybody's acting like they're working.
Yeah, there's fireworks, but they're just drones.
Like to look like baby Jesus in the manger.
Yeah, dude, that's tight.
Yeah, that's all right. It's a little outdated, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, and the other thing, when I was in Santa Monica, they had the cops had drones,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck? And everybody's just I'm like, y'all, who agreed to this? Y'all don't think it's fucked that we let cops have drones now, just fly over the city all the time? I feel like that would be a problem, for people in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, there was that Dallas shooter at that Black Lives Matter protest who had nothing to do with the protests and started shooting people.
shooting cops.
He went into a parking garage and barricaded himself in the parking garage, and they used a drone to kill him.
Well, they had a robot.
It's a drone.
I thought it was a robot that like had a grenade and it like turned the corner.
Just to like blew him up.
Yeah.
That sucks. Death by robot would just be shitty. At least be a flying drone. If it's a ground robot, which I'm sure they call them all drones now, but if it's a ground on like fucking little tank tracks, then
that's what it was.
Slowly works its way up to you. That'd be stupid. It better be one of those like
with a grenade in its hand.
It better be one of those like Boston Robotics dogs that like jumps around. No, it better be something quick that like it's like, oh fuck, like I couldn't escape. Oh, like they said.
Well, he was like hunkered down.
They sent the robot dog after him and he couldn't get away, or they fired the katana missile at him and it sliced him into a million pieces. Or he was hanging out in the park and the flamethrower drone just rained fire on him and there's no way he could escape. Bro, if it's like that little slow ass tank thing, like I'm just like climbing a fence and walking the opposite direction.
No, I think he was like in a parking structure.
I know.
They had him like surrounded, and
that would be shitty. He should have just moved. He could have just ran. He could have just like ran up another flight and then like hopped down, like done a little like okey doke. He could have taken the. He could have taken the stairs. Is what I'm saying. The motherfucker could have taken the stairs and just gone
looks
down.
Looks at the robot. He just like looks at it,
closes the door. That's
realizes it's a grenade, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, you got. I should have closed the door. Should have gone down a flight of stairs. It's not going down the stairs. It's gonna tumble. Do. That thing just sounds top heavy. It's carrying a grenade, so it's So I would just find a staircase. Find somewhere that it's like difficult for it to climb. Don't just stand in a flat parking garage that's at a steady incline the whole way up. It's got a track. It just like rolled up. You were hiding out for 30 minutes. It was chasing you for 28 of them, and you were hunkered down for like 25.
I mean, he was a brother. Like, he probably wasn't expecting like some robot to get him.
Yeah, he's like, I'm black. They don't want me that bad. They ain't gonna send no robot after me.
They
ain't gonna waste no robot on a brother. They're gonna do it. I know how these cops are. They want to do it hand to hand. They want to come get me, and then it's like fucking coming up there looking like a what's that? Oh, that shitty. It wasn't shitty. It was cool. It wasn't a Teddy Ruxpin, but it was the little robot guy that you'd put the tape in. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like a robot. It was like there's Teddy Ruxpin that would read you books. There was another one. It was gray and it was shaped like a little robotic alien guy. It would play tapes. Yeah. Like if I got murdered by something that looked like that with a fucking grenade in its mouth, I'd be so pissed. I'd be pissed too. Yeah. I would die.
If dying by any I hate. I'm saying I'm the anti-robot guy. Like I'm here to go to battle for the humans, and so
2XL
killed me at all.
2XL died. That was his name. His name was 2XL. So if I got killed by 2XL, and that ain't moving quick, dog. It's not Wally. These things are slow and methodical.
Wally.
They take like these wide ass turns. There's no like tight turning. So that's what I'm saying. You could have just like stepped around it. Hopped over it. It wouldn't recognize it. You had oh, that was him. How do you? You were a blur. That thing's slow as fuck. Nah, dog. If I'm gonna get killed by a drone, it's gotta be flying. It better have some wild shit on it, like poison darts. Shot saw blades at him. They come out at 500 feet per second. There's no way he's getting away. It's got to be something where, oh man, that sucks. Not like, oh, what an idiot. He didn't close the door. He didn't get on the roof. He didn't walk away. No. Yeah. Bro.
Well, when you don't have drones, maybe you could use a whale. Next article from Futurism by Victor Tangerman. Suspected Russian spy whale was reportedly shot multiple times. Over the weekend, news emerged that believed Russian spy beluga whale Vladimir, with a silent H, had died, but perhaps fittingly, considering his mysterious past as a possible foreign agent, the circumstances surrounding his death sound increasingly bizarre. Regina Hogg, the founder of animal rights group One Whale, is saying the beluga died a violent death and is suggesting foul play. He had multiple bullet wounds around his body, Hogg claimed in an Instagram post. The post was appended with photographs of what appeared to be bullet wounds dotting Vladimir's corpse. The injuries on the whale are alarming and of a nature that could not rule out a criminal act. It is shocking, said animal rights group NOAA director Siri Martinson in a statement. Given the suspicion of a criminal act, it is crucial that the police are involved quickly. Das shoot. A separate organization called Marine Mind, which was tracking Vladimir's movements, took a different tack. There was nothing to immediately reveal the cause of death, Director Sebastian Strand told Agence France Presse. We saw markings, but it's too early to say what they were. Strand suggested the markings may have been a result of marine birds. The beluga whale was estimated to be only around 14 to 15 years old, roughly half of the average lifespan of its species. The Norwegian Veterinary Institute is now conducting an autopsy and will publicize the results in a matter of weeks. Meanwhile, NOAA and One Whale are adamant that Vladimir was shot in a filing a police report to the Sandnes Police District and the Norwegian National Authority for Investigation and Prosecution of Economic and Environmental Crime. I've been with Vladimir for the past 5 years and know him very well, said Hogg in a statement. When I saw his body, I immediately knew he had been killed by gunshots. I even saw a bullet lodged in his body. What do you think about this?
That's wild. Like, so why are we calling it a spy whale? How do we know it's a spy whale?
Because I think back in the day, that is true that Russia uses whales, like spy whales. I think they like put like a fucking camera on them or something.
I'm just
and
like,
and then have them like, yeah, and go out and see, and then see if you catch any like American submarines or whatever the fuck.
That's weird. See,
Yeah.
I would see.
They didn't really give us the backstory on the spy whale, but
Yeah, I don't know about that, but that's fucked up if you're out there shooting whales. But if it's like a commie whale,
I know.
you're about to beluga blow your brains out, dog. You know?
Woo! Get that beluga caviar.
Because America. But if it's just a regular beluga whale,
Baby beluga.
or like an Australian military whale, UK military whale, you know what I'm saying? Protect it. But if
Well,
it's
do you
like
think it was another spy, like a double agent spy whale that shot him?
maybe. Or it was like a spy swordfish and it didn't shoot him, he like stabbed him.
Or it was the Russians trying to silence him, so he didn't give up any of their...
Yeah, because he learned to talk. And it was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he knows how to speak now. He's gonna give away all of our secrets.
Yeah.
He's got a Telegram account. Shit, he might be cute. That's weird though, to like shoot a spy whale. Just to shoot a whale is fucking weird. I mean, it's not the whale's fault. It's being strapped with technology and just told to go like swim around. It's gonna do what it does. It's it's a whale. So that's pretty fucked up. You shouldn't be killing whales.
But if you're gonna be a Russian spy, like I think that you have to come to terms with that you might die from bullets.
I'll pause. I'll be like, hey, look at this. Where's this? Look at this whale. I'd be like, oh, we gotta save it. But it's a Russian spy. I'd be like, whoa. Is it reformable? Like, what can we do? Maybe we send it to Gitmo. Holding tank. SeaWorld. Yeah, we're gonna make you work at SeaWorld, bitch. Yeah. Welcome to SeaWorld, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna love America.
Yeah.
Welcome to San Antonio,
tell
Texas.
Putin. We'll tell Putin we'll give you back if they give us the Merchant of Death back.
Yeah, welcome to San Antonio, bitch. That'd be terrifying.
Which yo get.
That would be awful if to like be like, oh, I'm like, think you're getting rescued from the ocean and you wind up in fucking San Antonio, Texas at SeaWorld. That's like the last place you'd want to end up. They'd be like, you're landlocked. They're like, no, but we have the Riverwalk. You're like, vomit. Shut up. You have a restaurant. You have a Dick's Last Resort that it touches. A patio from Dick's touches the Riverwalk. That's not a body of water. That's like a creek that like I've probably peed in before.
A lot of fat women too down there. That's Charles Barkley.
I'm trying to remember who got. Somebody one time got. I remember somebody getting pushed into the Riverwalk, and it was one of the funniest things ever. Because whenever they hit the water, and it was like shooting out, it was so green, like this dark green, that it was like, oh no, and it's not as deep as you think too. It's pretty shallow.
I've been there. I have no recollection of what it looks like.
There's this big green shit river that runs through downtown, and everyone's like, ooh.
Meanwhile, like, just like uh, all the homies just getting murked by the Mexicans at the Alamo.
Yeah.
I remember.
Stupidest shit ever. Alamo was totally their fault.
Yeah.
Those are not. I mean, you've heard. I think I've ranted about this. It's probably been like over a year, but everybody at the Alamo was like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Everybody was a douchebag.
Davy Crockett.
They were pro-slavery. Santana was anti-slavery, pro-democracy. That aged so well. I love how we don't talk about that, but everybody was like a dick.
Texas doesn't talk about it.
Everybody was a rapist or some alcoholic or like a murderer or like just some
Beaver killer.
or like raging alcoholic, swindling, fucking.
To be fair, Santa Ana was like addicted to opium, so
Yeah, fuck yeah, my type of guy. What up, bro? How's it going? He's addicted to opium and anti-slave. Cool. It sounds like he would be. He's allowed to come to the barbecue. We're gonna give him some help, but we'll see you. We'll see you on Saturday, dog. Like that's the conversation we have with that guy. But like, what's it, Jim Bowie or whatever the fuck? He can piss off. He like ran away because he murdered some law enforcement. He murdered 2 people and ran away to Texas. That's like the whole mystique is they're like, oh man, Texas was outlaws. Everybody was a badass and it was no man's land and that was Texas. They're like, oh, but these poor guys, man, they were just, good old guys out there in Texas to stealing a church that wasn't theirs. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, dude. They were all drunk as shit and we're like, yeah, let's take it. Maybe there's some people in there that we can sexually assault, and then there was no one there.
I mean, it would be apropos for a church.
And they had like every opportunity to leave. They're like, "Hey, man, y'all should get out of here because like we're totally gonna kill you." They're like, "Fuck you, man!" Like that's like, where are the women? Like Bowie said there would be bitches. Like I'm telling, like they're just dumb as shit. And then they all got killed, and everyone's like, "Oh!" And then. I mean, I guess because it gave Texas their independence, it's a part of Texas history. But then they just like waited, and then in the Battle of San Jacinto, they just killed everybody while they took a nap. Talk about the most like anticlimactic revenge ever. I mean, it's good revenge, I guess, because you killed a bunch of raging alcoholic women beaters in a church for committing theft. So like, I mean, I get like, so if you need revenge for that, the next like scummiest thing you could do would be to like murder a bunch of people that are anti-slavery while they're taking a siesta.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, it's kind of their fault. Like that.
No, for sure.
They're
I mean,
so
that's
dedicated to the siesta.
It's like the same with the British being like, no, I don't care if they're hiding in the bushes and the trees and running around. We're lining the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, Hemming. Shut up. We're lining up shoulder to shoulder on my count. On my fucking count. We're going to fight like gentlemen. We're going to fight like gentlemen. That's the same shit.
They would call Americans terrorists.
You ride as a group.
That was
I tell you, they make you forget all.
One of the best moments of fucking Mel Gibson's life is that montage when they just go gorilla in The Patriot, because I will always bring up that movie. And he's just like popping out of bushes and shit and holes in the ground. There was like so much like joy in his face in those scenes. Like, but like, yeah, you probably should have switched up your tactics. You just murked a bunch of people like, hey, man, that guy was stealing property from me, and now you just killed him. That guy, Sam Houston. So, like, you should probably, maybe not take naps in the middle of the day. That's not the smart. That's not smart.
Opium's a hell of a drug, though.
Yeah, that's not smart. But, I mean, were they...
They're nodding off,
opium, who is is the Alamo, who's the real bad guys? Because in my opinion, and like as someone who grew up in Texas...
Obviously, it's the dumb Texans.
Yeah, it's like they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, they just try to like, and why is everybody proud that they all died? Like, I don't even get it. Like, even in the like version that like Texas tries to sell, like as like the cool part, like the Alamo is the shit. It's like it's still whack.
They defended it when they could have left for no reason.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
That's like the cop, like the SWAT team being like, just leave, dude. Like, we're not even gonna arrest you. And he's like, nah, man, I'm staying here. And then
Yeah, it was like suicide by Mexican.
And then that guy gets shot by like a sniper, and it's like, dude, we told him he could go. Like, you guys saw that, right? Like, we recorded the whole thing. Like, the news was here. You saw that, right? We told him he could just leave. It's like shooting an innocent man because he wants to be shot. But yeah. It's fun. Or shooting a guilty man who's innocent but insists on doing something that he's guilty of. They're like, nah, man. That's like the people who get arrested for like the Sov Sits, who get arrested for, you know,
resisting arrest.
Yeah, refusing to even like identify themselves. And they're like, I'm just gonna write you a warning. I represent as the trust for Joseph, but I do not know who Joseph is. That is not my name. And they're like, dude, what's your fucking name? Or I'm gonna tase you, motherfucker. Like,
and then they tase you and like, your name is Toby.
And then they're like, oh, it's Calvin. My name's Calvin. Stop tasing me. It hurts. Why are you doing this to me? Because you resisted. No, I didn't. It's like, yeah,
Don't
dude.
tase me, bro.
That's it, dude. The Alamo attendees, the original Sov Sits, they're like sovereign citizens. They're like the originals. Interesting. I'm just now piecing that together. Let me work on that theory for a little bit, but yeah, I digress. That's one of those historical topics that just drive, because I live here and we listen to all this shit. Oh, and also, if you ever go to San Antonio and you see the Alamo, underwhelming, small as fuck. You're like, how the fuck did all these people fit in here in the first place? It was well built. Not really. It's not that tall. It's like 1.5 story. Get out of here. What are you talking about? I've seen double wides bigger than this bitch. How many guys were in here? How many creepy ass rapists were in this fucking building at once? Damn, that must have smelled terrible. That must have been a rough time.
All right, let's close it out.
Oh, you gotta talk about Trump stock.
I know, but we kind of already did. It's in the fucking tank.
In the tank, bad.
Yeah.
Shares rose to a high of 66, giving it a market value of 11 billion, and now it's plummeted. Are you still shorting it? You still making money off that shit?
I never shorted it.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
Nah, I was saying that like that it's kind of a stay away because it's nobody's investing in it like who's rational. So it's like, you know, it's like they could be fucking dumb longer than I could be liquid. It's like obviously it's going to zero. It's just like when and how. You know what I'm saying? It's like it would be hard to time it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's insane how like low it's gone ever since like Kamala got in the.
Well, he started using Twitter again, so he's just like well, not him, but someone is, but he's just like all over the place now. He's grasping at straws.
So, on June 4th, 3 months ago today, it was worth $46.75, and it's been on a steady decline, except for the day after he got shot. It got a pop, but only up to 40, and then from that moment on, from 40 all the way down to 16.98 today. So it's still worth $3.4 billion, like in market cap, and he's able to sell this month, like in a week. You think he does it?
Yeah, he's gonna rug pull that shit. Of course he does.
Then it goes to zero.
Then it goes to zero, and that's it. And then he's got more money to defend himself in court. That's where all that money's gonna go, is towards legal funds.
Right. He just tried to move the fraud case to federal court, and they said no. And then he tried to do something else with the documents case, and they're like, nah.
No, he's gonna that shit's like coming down the pipe. He can't stop it. So of course he's gonna sell because that motherfucker broke.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering how how it's gonna play out because like there might be lawsuits, like as soon as he sells.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's totally going to get sued. Like he's just by doing what we know he's going to do, he's going to get himself in more legal trouble in the long run.
100%.
So it's like, yeah, I just got out
But
of
I mean,
jail.
but yeah, I was gonna say maybe you could like borrow. Like and then I just stopped myself because I know no banks are letting him borrow off the shares because they all know that the shares are basically worthless.
Yeah. So they yeah.
They're like, no, this is going to zero. We're not gonna let you like borrow money from us and give us your shit stock collateral.
And then you're gonna, yeah, no.
So yeah, so he would have to cash out if he's gonna get anything off of it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Unless he's gonna try to ride it out and make it worth more to get more, but that's not gonna happen. That's not. He's way too short-sighted for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a long-term short-sighted con, where that's very, it takes a while for him to be able to do it, but when he can, he's gonna do it like
6 months.
Yeah, he's gonna do it like 6 months, 3 days. Because if I'm going to really focus on the election and beating Comrade Kamala is what they're calling her. A lot of people call her that. I'm not saying I do. I've just heard it. If we're going to take her out, I need to get out of Trump Social, Truth Social. I'll be on Twitter. Fucking idiot. I hate that. Dude, all these fucking old white guys are pissing me off, dude.
Why they gotta be white?
You tell me. Well, 151. Hopefully we have an update on the Porch Pooper. I hope they catch him and they get a name. Backstory. The myth, the legend. Porch Pooper. What do you got for us?
Meditate, bitches.
Like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment. Forward, share. Talk shit to us, something. We appreciate you guys checking us out as always. And yeah, just like pay attention to the news. I know I say that every week, but shit's wild. And yeah, Tim Pool released a statement that's like on Twitter that's like 2 pages long. It's like, I had no idea. And if these allegations are true,
Yeah,
it's like,
he was calling himself, he was the victim. If it's
yeah,
true.
he's like, if this is true, we are victims. It's like, wow, boy, nervous. Your boy nervous.
They're like, if the Russians gave you $10 million, because that's what's being alleged, then you're the victim. What?
No. All right, well, y'all be good, be safe, stay out of trouble, and as always, go fuck yourselves.
Got it.
Recording stopped.